What's up guys, Cliff here once again and welcome back to Overwatch. We got a pretty huge list of fairly significant change that should make it into our PTR fairly soon if they are not on there already by the time that this video goes live. So today I'd like to take a look at those and speculate what kind of effect this could have on our current meta. And I hear ya, but Cliff, the big channels already covered this topic. Oh gee, the more popular YouTubers already covered this topic. Better delete my fucking channel. I mean, those kinds of news and updates usually hit us around American prime time, so the guys over there can cover it very quickly. I'm one of those morons who actually played the game at the time this went down instead of refreshing Reddit until something worth covering pops up.
Oh my god, guys.
Oh, that's so good.
This better be fucking good, alright lads?
At this point, I'm not sure if refreshing Reddit wouldn't have been less of a waste of time. Anyway guys, with low tier sold out of the way, let's jump right into today's topic. I think we should address the elephant in the room first and foremost, and that's the increase of ultimate cost by 25% for all heroes. I find this very interesting because I and others have said time and time again that Overwatch is the game of ultimates. If two teams of equal mechanical skill face each other, there are only a few factors left that will affect the outcome of the match. Those being communication and synergy, misplays, and ult economy. Especially in the highest level of play during the Overwatch tournaments, Overwatch becomes a game of managing your ultimates more effectively than your opponents. The team that does that better usually wins. Reason for this change could be that Blizzard simply isn't happy about being labeled like this. Maybe they simply don't want to be defined through this one mechanic in the game. Another possibility could be something I have seen on occasion, casual players complaining about ultimates firing off too frequently. Apparently it's not fun running out of spawn and getting killed by an ultimate all the time in quick play. At any rate, 25% is not something to snort at, and I feel like we are all going to feel the difference should this go live. For one thing, I feel like this could make ult economy that much more important in pro play, but it will also more than likely affect us on ladder. With ultimates not charging as frequently anymore, there will be a bigger emphasis on mechanical skill outside of your ultimate. That means that you have to handle a hero well, and picking one solely for the sake of ult comboing is probably not going to be as effective anymore. Now let's move on to the hero specific changes. Kicking things off with D.Va, we're seeing an increase to her health from 100 to 200, bumping her overall HP to 600. Along with that, we get an increase to movement speed while firing by 25%. Before I talk about the D.Va changes more in depth, I'd like to jump to Zarya really quickly. Zarya is going to see a decrease in power gain by 20% through any barrier she uses. Now, Zarya has been a hero that, at least on ladder, was never a wrong choice. There simply wasn't a scenario where Zarya is just a bad pick and wouldn't be beneficial, and her ultimate was just too good to pass out on. What worries me a little bit now is that Zarya's ultimate already took quite a bit to charge up. Now with a global increase of 25% to any hero's ultimate, plus the nerf to the amount of power she gains through her barriers, this could potentially mean a significantly lower pick rate. If we pair this up with this fairly significant D.Va buff, not only seemingly trying to introduce her as more of a main tank, but also giving her a more effective damage output that you can't outrun as easily anymore, I found myself conflicted what to think. Next to Mei, the only truly effective counter to D.Va is Zarya. If we were to see a simultaneous rise in popularity with D.Va, combined with a decline in pick rate for Zarya, this could mean a lot of trouble for solo queues on ladder. There will always be those kinds of people who just take those changes too hard and never pick a hero who's been nerfed like this. What really surprised me is that Blizzard came out themselves saying that they didn't want to nerf Zarya because they felt she was in a good spot and only effective in the right hands. Along with that, they claimed that her pick rate was fairly low. Keeping that in mind, I am fairly confused over seeing them consider such drastic changes, especially because your energy will still deplete as quickly as it did before, so reaching a high energy state is gonna be that much more difficult. I'm just really not sure what to think about this, to be honest. Let's move on to Mei. Mei is going to see an increase in ultimate cost by 15%. The problem with Mei, particularly on defense, was that with her recently buffed ultimate, she could cover right about the entire capture point using her Blizzard. This is an extremely powerful ultimate that is near impossible to avoid. Having a Genji deflect or D.Va soaked up is not exactly something that's easily done, and what usually happens is that this ultimate alone will not only win this encounter in favor of the defenders, but it also charges so quickly that she's more than likely to have it again for the next push. So I do strongly agree with them increasing the cost simply for how cost effective this ultimate is in regards to ult economy and how terribly difficult it is to avoid, but do feel free to let me know what you guys think. Next up will be Lucio with a decrease of his healing per second while using Amped up by 10%. Not exactly a change that I'm too fond of personally. I already find Lucio to be not that effective for a support character outside of his speed boost, but then again 10% isn't too drastic of a change, so we're just gonna have to see how this plays out. And lastly, we got Torbjorn. Torbjorn will now generate scrap automatically over time, but also gains 40% less scraps from fallen enemies. Along with that, they're increasing the swing speed of his hammer by 25% and his damage output by 27%. Those changes I find very interesting because it actually opens up a bit of potential for using Torbjorn outside of quick play. The changes to how he gets his scrap now could be seen as a bit of a nerf in a team that is already doing well. I know that when I play Torbjorn on the winning side, I usually can't save myself from all the scrap. Hell, I once even pocket healed a Reaper just by using armor packs. However, all those changes kinda make it look like he's going to be a more viable character in choke heavy points and tight corners. Being able to place his turret down quicker is definitely a great thing for some backline defense, but I'm thinking more about his offensive potential now. Just imagine a map like King's Row, for example. You got a turret in the back warning you from flankers, and then a Torbjorn just runs at you with increased hammer swing speed and higher damage output on that hammer. If you pair this up with a Lucio speed boost, maybe a Zarya shield, and his own sustain in form of armor packs, I feel like it could become an absolutely devastating close quarters brawler. And lastly, I would like to wrap things up with some info I found in the Battle.net launcher for the upcoming PTR patch 1.5 that could actually already be live. Those are relating to players leveling up, and I'd really like to get some feedback from you guys, so let's go over them. With the way our experience curve works right now, players can move quickly through the first 23 levels of each promotional tier. This is because when a player is promoted every 100 levels, the experience curve essentially resets. While this reset has worked pretty well so far, it's also encouraged some people to stop playing the game altogether once they're promoted, the goal thus being to save those 23 levels specifically for seasonal events. To help address this, the experience needed for all post-promotion levels is now a consistent 20k and will no longer reset. As some of you might know, I was one of those guys who stopped playing after hitting level 200 so I could grab some easy cases early on, and for that reason this change annoys me. It seems like a very greedy thing to do because some people simply might not have the time to grind a significant amount of levels throughout the span of an event and end up with very few cases. Evil Tongues could obviously say that this is just to promote sales on loot boxes, but fucking hell, that would be such a greedy thing to do. I for one don't feel encouraged to buy boxes at all, and if I know that an event is right around the corner, I'm still not gonna play. This time not to save my easy levels for loot boxes, but just to not burn myself out while grinding away on loot boxes. I want to say maybe I'm alone with that thought, but there must have been a significant amount of people doing this for them to make that change, so do feel free to leave a comment down below if you're one of those people and what you think about those changes. But anyway guys, this is me done for the day. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Do feel free to leave a like on your way if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and for those like 3 people who care, the BF1 campaign playthrough will continue tonight sometime after this upload, now that people who didn't want to sink $80 on a game finally have access to it. But yeah, thank you once again, and I hope to see you guys next time.